I think I just may down the stream with a blank mind. I get back up when I'm down. I keep my chin up on the well. All my woes to the floor. I don't care anymore. It's all over if you're baby blueness and orange. All my woes to the floor. I don't care anymore. It's all over if you're baby blueness and orange. It doesn't really matter if I shatter, if my coat breaks. All is so late. It could take 8 months to recuperate, and I still say to a place where your heart is. Follow your dreams, not the crowd. Make what you love the day in, day out. All my woes to the floor. I don't care anymore. It's all over if you're baby blueness and orange. All my woes to the floor. I don't care anymore. It's all over if you're baby blueness and orange. All in all, it's how you take it. All in all, it's how you make it. All my woes to the floor. I don't care anymore. It's all over if you're baby blueness and orange. If you're one day I ventured down the yellow brick road. I spotted Dorothy and I asked her where to go. She said, don't be absurd, man, don't you already know? Just keep on walking till you hit the emerald stone. Next thing that I did see, painted horse in my very own ring. Don't worry, mama, it's not gonna change me. 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 My heart is a missionary. My heart is a missionary. I went down south to visit all my friends and it's a night. I was hungry, so I was looking for some enchiladas. They said, eat all you want, but don't you drink the water. I said, it's fine, I'll just go wash it down with some more chowder. Next thing that happened to me, some flashy men stuck me in a limousine. Don't worry, mama, they're not gonna change me. 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 My heart is a heart is a missionary. Top with the Philly on the dash. I've gotta grind it out to get a little cash. I'm gonna get it, gonna grab it till I crash. But it's so hard to make any currency last. Last thing that I wish to be, walking contradiction when I realize my dreams. Don't worry, mama, they're not gonna change me. 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 My heart is a missionary. My heart is a missionary. So you trying to hide these knee-high blues. It's the love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. The love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. The love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. The love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. The love that shines through. It's the love that shines. It's the love that shines through. 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 That shines through. The love. It's the love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. The love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. It's the love that shines through. The love that shines through. It's 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 the love that shines through. You're looking way too fine. You piqued my interest. Can you replace my mind? Energetically empathetic, like she's an aggressive dentist. Monumentally magnetic, contradictions become blended. My inhibition becomes vivid, and I think that it's blatant. I feel you kick and lose descriptions, but I know that I can take it, take it. Won't you make me feel alive, make me feel free? I'm impressed now, I'm impressed now. Won't you make me feel alive, make me feel free? I'm impressed now, I'm impressed now. Like no room for regrets, only the effect of time. No room for weakness, only the weak unwind. I view my virtues loose when I choose to use you. Tell me who can consume my issues. My inhibition becomes vivid, and I think that it's blatant. I feel you kick and lose descriptions, but I know that I can take it. Just take it. Won't you make me feel alive? You make me feel free. I'm impressed now, I'm impressed now. Won't you make me feel alive? You make me feel free. I'm impressed now, I'm impressed now. And it feels like you make me feel alive, make me feel free. I'm impressed now. I'm impressed now. My first memories, everyone was so happy. I smiled so much, it was contagious. Who knew those days were a blur and now they're ageless like ice? Can we make it back? Can we make it back? Fall of 2010, I was falling on ends. Times were almost too good. You can get what you want, some things I never understood. Although I wish I could. Spring back to 93, and what you will see are some pictures of me. Just waiting for the sun to come and undone me. You hurt so much, it was outrageous. You know it was. It doesn't hurt anymore, I guess it's painless like ice. Can we make it back? 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 Took a sweet little girl to turn my world upside down, to turn it all around and to make me proud. Took a sweet little girl to admit when I'm wrong, to acknowledge my faults, then to learn from it all. Took a sweet little girl to make a big man out of me. It took a sweet little girl to make a big man out of me. Took a sweet little girl to make a big man out of me. It took a sweet little girl. Down to the river with the snow on my shoes. I'm looking out across the water and taking in the view. I'm roaming around in downtown. Who's playing the ballroom? Seems everywhere I go now I'm reminded of you. It took a sweet little girl to make a big man out of me. It took a sweet little girl to make a big man out of me. It took a sweet little girl. Don't I still feel sometimes I'm meant to walk this whole life alone? But I guess that's how you might feel when you come from these broken homes. Somebody's gonna love you and call you their own. It'll all ease my soul. It took a sweet little girl to make a big man. It took a sweet little girl to make a big man out of me. It took a sweet little girl to make a big man out of me. It took a sweet little girl to make a big man out of me. And once they've got you off your knees, your thoughts are not the thoughts they'll keep. And if you find it's difficult to breathe, just find a way to make ends meet. I'll build a castle on the sea, so no one can bother me. Solitude and vacancies ruin my dreams. Ruin my dreams. What is my mind if it's incomplete? A notebook full of blank sheets. And if you can't find company, come build a castle on the sea. 'Cause I'll be building castles on the sea, so no one can bother me. Solitude and vacancies ruin my dreams. My dreams. You've got priorities, so don't let me hold you back. Smile infidelity, you know I've always got your back. True friendship never dies, and I'll remember your name when the memories hard. So come on now, come on now. Stay as you are like this. I'll never throw away your plan. All I need is one more night. All I need is for you to miss your flight. All I want is one more song. Who am I gonna sing with now when you're gone? Whoa, all I can do is reminisce, reminded of when I look up at her flame. The things I could have missed, time I wish I still had. Well, goodbye, will I see you again, or will I pass the night before the memories end? So come on now, don't you conform on me. It's a thrill when you're going off the tracks. All I need is one more night. All I need is for you to miss your flight. All I want is one more song. Who am I gonna sing with now?
'Cause she's going back to Japan. 'Cause she's going back to Japan. And I'm going to miss my best friend. 'Cause she's going back to Japan. Going back to Japan. Yeah, she's going back to Japan. Yeah, she's going back to Japan. Yeah, she's
best friend, 'cause she's going back to Japan.
You just heard Gabe Fleck's new album, 6 Strings and a Stream, here on Locals Live. I am sitting down with Gabe Fleck now. Gabe, awesome performance.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
amazing.
You almost said awful there.
I almost did. It was awfully amazing.
Okay.
That's how
I'll take that.
those
I'll
words
take that.
work. But I actually do own your album. I bought it off of I got it on
Where'd you get it
Spotify.
from? Yeah.
You stream it through Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing when I found that out. I was
Yeah.
on it so fast.
Yeah.
But where else can people find your album?
People can also find, I'm trying to push iTunes, but I don't know, I'm not really trying to push the album. It's there if you want it, I suppose. It's also on Google Play Music.
Really?
And then I have stuff on SoundCloud, as you know.
Yeah, I listened to the SoundCloud. Actually, one of my favorite songs that you've written, you claim, is not actually a song that you produced. It's just one that you made for an audition or an interview?
No, Western Wind?
No. What Makes Me Me?
Oh, yeah. That was just something I gave to a design firm, because I'm a graphic designer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm studying here in college. And so they were like, send us a tape and of what makes you different than everyone else. So I was like, I play music.
Yeah.
So I just made a track for them. And at the time I was listening to a lot of Amy Winehouse, so there's a lot of like city reggae influence.
It was amazing.
So thanks, man.
I do love that one. But let's jump forward then to this album. What is your inspiration for this album? Because it's so diverse. There's a lot of different music, some like rock, some blues, some jazzy bits. I mean, I love the whole thing. As I said, I own it. But what is your influence there? Because there's so many, right?
Throughout this entire process of making the album, I was listening to a lot of Kings of Leon. I became like a Kings of Leon fangirl, and I listened to like their first album all the way to like their new stuff, and really tried to like dive into why are these guys getting everybody's attention? What makes them so them? What makes Kings of Leon? And that is because they're themselves. And so listening to them and like Caleb, their frontman, and the way he writes songs kind of influenced heavily on the songwriting and influenced me to look inwards and pull out some stuff that maybe people didn't know about me or I didn't even know yet. And so Kings of Leon was a huge influence. Brandon Flowers from The Killers, I like studied how he sang on this. Also, out of nowhere, there was some punk influence on this.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that I still threw it back to like stuff I always have done. So like there's an R&B number in there. There's also some hip hop concludes, and then there's just pure singer-songwriter stuff.
Right, and a lot of those concludes you actually cut out of this performance. But I wanted to ask you, like, you just play your guitar. That's how you come up with a lot of. How do you come up with the music for these?
So it's usually just me sitting around, bored.
And it comes together. You're just bored.
Yeah, it's bored, and I know I have stuff to do, but I'm probably not going to do it.
Procrastination.
So
greatest.
Yeah. So it'll start from like some natural fingering styles that I like to do. Just they feel comfortable.
Right.
That's what I feel comfortable in, and I think that's a good thing is to go with what you're comfortable with because it's only going to be even more comfortable when you bring it live.
That's true.
How I'm writing nowadays is I'm getting back into that new modern rock stuff, I suppose, because the box that sort of people are coming to know me as is progressive modern rock.
Right.
Or indie pop, as I've been told, which I'm confused as to what that even means.
What is indie pop?
But
pretty sure those are contradicting.
The other day, I was like, so sometimes I'll challenge myself and be like, can I write in this, like, that's a jazzy thing to do, and I'm not like a fan of it. Sometimes I like clean cut songs with like one progression, one tempo,
right.
And let's just make it enjoyable and universal. But like the other day, I was sitting around like trying to make a 3/4, so it's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and so there's this Hoser song, and he has a big 1-2 influence, so it's like 1 2 1
nice.
2 3 1 2. So I was like, can we split a song into 5 counts for one measure and then 6 counts for another?
Right.
It gets kind of hairy, but it would
Get
be
a bit
like,
experimental with it.
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So
That's sweet.
sometimes it's just like a tempo thing, like I want to do something cool tempo-wise. Other times it's like, sometimes it just comes from the writing first, and I have
Right.
to say something. And then most of the time it starts with like a vibe that I want to get.
Right. And speaking of how you make your music, I know that you've been working, at least from what I hear on SoundCloud and some of your newer just random stuff you throw out, you've been doing a lot of production stuff, less with instruments, more with your computer alone, throwing in beats, making tracks,
Yeah.
and looping them.
So that's why this performance was so interesting, and so I was such a rookie at it, because it's the first time I've done something like this. Usually it's like play from the laptop, I just have a mic, and we're rocking from the laptop and the PA.
Right.
And then on other performances, it's just Gabe with a guitar, usually acoustic, and I'm breaking down my songs acoustically. But how I would like to start doing things is with a band, of course, that's ideal, and then also throwing in those production elements, so having a laptop at hand to throw in on the PAs, I think it's really cool. So getting the best of MIDI and acoustic instruments is
That's
like,
awesome.
I don't know, maybe that's a production head in me, but I really like experimenting with that.
How long does it take you to make a specific song? Just one?
It depends on what we're talking about. And so sometimes I think there's a reason why that progression I just played hasn't transformed into a full song. Because it was like cool that I was doing that, but I need time to think of something to say over it. So a lot of the times,
Gotta figure out the lyrics.
like in Sonata, I had the second verse the first night, and then I just kind of let it be. I don't really consider that like putting time into it, because it just came naturally. And then the day after, I woke up and was like, all right, we need to finish this song. It took me like maybe 2 hours. And it's just like, sometimes it's so natural and organic that it just happens that quick. Other times, you're forcing it and you're trying to get somewhere that you know you can get to, and those can take like weeks.
Weeks.
And
Wow.
those ones suck. And they usually aren't the ones that people like, is the interesting thing. Because I think whatever you play organically after you've played for so long, whatever you're going to come to naturally should probably be the stuff that you should be making.
Yeah.
People know that.
Absolutely. How long did it take you to make the full album then, the 6 Strings in the Stream?
It took me all this summer.
The whole summer?
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to make one. I knew I didn't have any internships. I didn't land an internship because I was like, if I land one, I'll be in Portland. I'll be focusing on design. Well, since I didn't get one, I was still working at the school a little bit, but I had all this free time to really focus in and make an album, which is really what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And me and my mom went on a cruise, and so that got me out of Corvallis and got me to see a little bit more of the world. And I suggest that for any artist. Go and travel or go do something before you embark on an album, because it really influences the way you're going to write or the way you're going to sound, and you're not going to sound like you're in a room thinking of stuff to come up with.
Right.
You're not going to sound like a machine. It's going to be all these organic feelings coming out from an experience. So that really swayed like, I guess the second and the third. Ensenada is about going to Ensenada on the cruise. And then Into Distractions has like that 4 to the floor that I constantly heard on that cruise. Like you couldn't go anywhere without hearing like Pitbull or
Yeah.
like...
It's just typical pop music.
Yeah, like just that classic 4 to the floor feel and that party. Like let's have some fun. And so I brought some of that to the album. But then there's also more somber times, like Sweet Little Girl, where I ran Bald Hill a lot when I was back here.
Right.
You know what that is?
Yeah, I know where Bald Hill is.
So it's a great place, right?
You also, yeah, it's a great place. You also decided to take a Sweet Little Girl acoustic this time instead of what it is on your album, which if you purchase the album you will hear. It's amazing. But you went acoustic with it this time. Why'd you make that choice?
Well, I mean, technically, if you want the technical answer, it's like I'd have to have a metronome there to cue in when the drums come in.
Right.
Right. So like, if I had a band, it probably would have been with backing with it and a drummer and bassist and everything and lead guitars. But it's also just one of those more heartfelt songs that I feel comes through really good when there's nothing else but a guitar and a voice. And I hope that's a song, like, it's a simple song, so I hope it's a song that if you are first learning your instrument and you go through those kind of emotions that I felt in that number, that you can just sit down on your porch or in your yard or in your room or whatever and
start playing Sweet
Yeah.
Little Girl, like Stairway to Heaven. So everyone starts on, right?
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, while we're on the topic of your album, I want to ask you, I'm sure everyone wants to know, what is your plans for a new album, a next one? I know this is your first legitimate EP, so are there any plans?
I want to practice more at this. I want this to grow. I don't feel it's gotten quite the attention that I want it to have, and I don't know if it deserves more or if it doesn't, but I'm going to push this thing a little bit longer and try to make some more out of it. And then, I don't know, sometimes I'm always sporadically writing. So I just said sometimes and always. So I got to pick one.
Another contradiction.
Some days is like, I come home and I'm just feeling it. I relate it to like an athlete. Like I get in my zone, you know?
Right.
And like I just have like those good game days. But I don't think I want to say I need to make an album because people are expecting new music. And like I just put it up on my shoulders to go and do that because you're going to get some, you know, crappy songs out of that, that mindset. But my idea is to, if I was to embark on something, I think it would be possibly over spring break, and I wouldn't like sell this. I'd probably just put it out on SoundCloud or something. Maybe spring break if I don't have anything to do, just go to the coast and like hang out and find some areas that I can be alone and inspire something.
That sounds awesome. That sounds great. And I mean, I got to say it again, it was awesome watching you play here. I've seen you play all over campus, and to have you on Locals Live today was an honor, honestly.
It was
a
an honor
great,
being here.
yeah, well, I mean, it's great to talk to you as well. And I mean, the more chances I get to see you, the happier I am. So here I am, happy again. And for those of you who are looking to purchase Six Strings and a Stream by Gabe Fleck, you can find it on iTunes, you can find it on Google Play Music, and you can find it on Spotify. So be sure to check that out. Give Gabe your praise, give him your money. That's the way it works. And with that, we're signing out. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Locals Live.